Okay, now let's move on to question number 2. Okay, in question number 2, now what happened is it says plot a point P that is 3 comma 2. So I've already plotted P that is 3 comma 2, and it says this point you'll have to reflect it on the origin, and then you have to name it as R. So when I reflect it in the origin, the sign of both changes, so we get minus 3 comma minus 2, and then when I plot it I get minus 3 comma minus 2. Okay, and as per the question it says Q. Now what is Q? Q is the foot of the perpendicular. So Q is the foot of the perpendicular. From where? From P. So it says from P. So from P I have to draw a perpendicular. So that means I can draw one perpendicular towards the Y and I can draw one perpendicular towards the X. But what does the question say? It says on the X axis. So that means I have to go ahead and draw a line this side, not this side. Why? Because the question clearly says on the X axis. So from here I draw it in this direction, I go down in this direction, and this point, what have they called? They have called it as Q. Okay, and write the coordinates. This is the Q will be what? It will be 3 comma 0. Okay, so that's Q. So in the next one it says S also. Okay, again S is what? S is the again the foot of the perpendicular. So again from S is also the foot of the perpendicular, but from where? From R. So again from R. Now just like from P, from R I can draw two perpendiculars. So it says I have to draw one perpendicular. So I can draw one perpendicular towards this side, one perpendicular to this side. But what does the question say? Where is this from? It's from R, I know for sure, but from R, where? Is it on the x-axis or is it on the y-axis? So it clearly says it's again on the x-axis. So I go ahead and move in this direction. So in this direction I go, and then this is called the perpendicular, and then this point will now be the foot of the perpendicular, and they have named it as S. And it says write the coordinates of S. S will be what? It will be minus 3 comma 0. So that's it. So I've got my P, I've got my Q, I've got my R, and I've got my S. So Q and S are what? They are the foot of the perpendiculars from, one is from P, so I could have drawn it this way, but it clearly says on the X, so I bring it down. This also says on the X, I take it in this direction. Okay, and then it says name the figure. So to name the figure I just join them. So when I join them I get this and I get this. This kind of a figure is called a parallelogram. So this is a parallelogram, and if I want to find the area of a parallelogram, so if I want to find the area of a parallelogram, I just divide them into two halves. So either whichever, as per the figure that you have in a question, either I just join these two, okay, and then if I join this two, this is called a diagonal. It divides the parallelogram into two equal triangles. Equal triangles मतलब अगर इसका area 5 है तो इसका भी area 5 आएगा. Okay, and sometimes what will I have to do? Sometimes instead of drawing it this way, I may have to draw it this side, so it will be easier for me. So depending on the question, either you have to join this diagonal or you'll have to join this diagonal, and then get two equal triangles. And once I get the triangle, then you just have to find the area of any one triangle, and the area of any one triangle is equal to half into base into perpendicular. And once I get the area, then you just have to double it, or this one, this, if this is 5, this will also be 5, and then you get the area of the parallelogram. So let's say over here now the diagonal has already been drawn. This is a parallelogram, so the x-axis, the line itself has already been drawn over here, and this is their diagonal. So it divides the triangle in parallelogram in two equal triangles, upper triangle and the lower triangle. So let's find the area of the upper triangle. So if I want to find the area of the upper triangle, so let's cover this. So if I cover this, then what will happen is, now this is called, entire thing from here to here is called the base. This is called the perpendicular. Now base, if I want to find, now it's between this point and this point. Now this point and this point means they are on the opposite sides. When they are on the opposite sides, what will happen? I just need to add. So this is 3, this is also 3. So negative is never ever taken when we find the length. So what is the base? So this is equal to 3 plus 3, this is equal to 6. So the base is equal to 6. So over here base is equal to 6 units. Now the perpendicular, now they are on the same side. So when they are on the same side, now we just need to subtract. Okay, so this is 0, this is 2, so this is equal to 2. Okay, so the perpendicular is 2. So यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक कितना है? यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक. So 2 minus 0 will give me a 2. And then now area of one triangle is equal to half into base into perpendicular, half into base into perpendicular. That is equal to 6 units, square units. So अगर इसका 6 है, so what will happen? This will also be 6. So total area is equals to 2 into 6, that is equal to 12 square units, or you can do 6 plus 6, that is equal to 12 square units. Okay, so that's how you find the area. Now if I want to find the perimeter, now perimeter means add all the things, so that means I have to add all of them. So now this is already 2, this is a straight line 2, so this is also 2, so these two I got. Now I just need to get this one and this one. Now if I look carefully, isn't this the hypotenuse? So if I want to find the hypotenuse, what's the formula? It's equal to root over base square plus perpendicular square, that is equal to how much? Base square plus perpendicular square. ये base हो गया, perpendicular square हो गया. So 36 plus 4, that is equal to root 40. So this is equal to root 40, and parallelogram means if this is root 40, this also has to be root 40. So my total perimeter is equals to 2 plus root 40 plus 2 plus root 40. So 2 and 2 gives me a 4, 40 and 40 gives me 2 root 40. So I take 2 common, so 2 plus root 40 is my perimeter. So that's how we find the area and the perimeter of a parallelogram. So if you are not aware of the foot of the perpendicular, then it becomes a problem. So I've already explained the foot of the perpendicular also, and then this is how you solve this kind of a question. Is that okay?